Are your parents coming from California?
Nah, it was too short of a notice, like, because they made the ruling yesterday, and so it's already a 6-hour flight, so 48 hours isn't really enough time to get a ticket, get everything set up and everything. So, but Ben and them said they're going to do like virtual something, and they're going to be watching.
So, what's this like for you to be included in senior day? I mean, you have eligibility left, but you did come in with these guys, right?
Yeah, no, this is literally the group that I've been here with for the designated 4 years that normally everyone gets. So it's kind of just, I want to walk out with them. I want to be a part of them because like we all came in here together. We all been here through the most, and like we're the veteran guys, as everyone likes to call us. So I just feel like I'm part of that group.
We'll go over to Keith Sargent.
Myles, I know you have eligibility. Everyone has eligibility next year, but have you thought about coming back?
Oh yeah, I applied to 2 programs here. I got into both, so definitely it is definitely one of the places I want to go. So I'm in here, and I love it here. I've been here for 4 years. I've made it through every winter. I'm proud I can say that. So definitely, Rutgers is definitely still an option. It's never been off the table.
Brian Fonseca.
So just to clarify, you're not 100% like sure you're coming back to Rutgers next year. I just want to be sure you're.
Well, as a grad student, I applied to a lot of places just because I graduated, did get my master's, wherever. Being an engineer, there's a million engineering schools you can apply to. So yeah, I applied other places, but I did Rutgers. I got already like officially in the Rutgers program. It's the only one I've gotten back from so far. So.
Sure. And you mentioned being part of this group, the senior leadership group that kind of was here for the first few years of Steve Pikiell's taking over the program. I guess, have you had some time in the last few days, now that it's senior day, to kind of reflect on just how far you guys have come, just what the accomplishments you guys have had in that time?
Oh yeah, like I remember when I first committed here, people would be like, "Oh, you're going to Rutgers?" Or like the bottom of the Big Ten. Like, dude, what do you expect? And like, oh, you're going to play the whole time because like they're not really that good. And now looking at it, we've gone from the bottom to teams that we're in games with the top teams in this tournament, in this league, and the top people in this league have been in the top 25 the whole season pretty much. So I just think just like we made such a stride since then, and like I think we're just on pace to keep going up and up and up. So I feel like that is, part of me and Gio and everybody that came. We definitely put Rutgers on the map, and I feel like that is an accomplishment that I can say that I feel like I've been a part of.
Go over to Steve Politi.
Hey, Myles, I've got 2 questions for you. The first one, we always assume that guys at your level want to play basketball after college. Is that the case with you, or are you seeking a career in engineering and basketball might end for you when you're done with collegiate playing?
Yeah, I get asked this question literally all the time, being an engineer and a basketball player. Currently, I am doing an internship at IBM, working on my engineering stuff, and I'm having a great time actually over there. But basketball, I don't think it's going to stop. Basketball will stop when it decides to stop. It's not really I'm going to be the one that ends it. So basketball is always going to be here for me, and I've always been there for basketball. And it's kind of we have a love-hate relationship sometimes. It's just, some days it's like, oh my God, basketball's the greatest thing ever. And some days it's like, oh my God, practice was really hard and tired. So basketball is always going to be there for me and always be there for basketball.
And just a completely different note, I talked to a couple of your teammates just about, we're coming near the 1-year anniversary of getting pulled off the court in Indianapolis. And I'm just curious what you remember about the Big Ten tournament, that trip, that night before, everything that happened.
I specifically remember the day before our game, we're all in the hotel watching Rudy Gobert make a fool of himself, touching everything and thinking it was a joke and making it real funny. Then he ended up ending the whole NBA. So, and then we was all like nervous, like, oh, we're going to play. If the NBA is not playing, I don't think we're playing. So we're going into the game a little bit skeptical, but, we still had to, it was playing against Michigan. So we had to, still be focused and everything. So we got there, we warmed up. And I remember they called it out. They walked at half court and said, everybody go back to the locker room. And at that point, I knew I was like, yeah, no, it's done. They're about to wrap up the whole season. So it was definitely like one of the worst feelings of that year. And but it was just it was one of those things. I feel like it happened and it made us all stronger as a unit because like it happened with us together and we carry that chip on our shoulder that like we made the tournament last year and they canceled it. So this year we really have something to prove.
Go back to Jerry Carino.
Myles, as we've talked about many times, you're roommates with Gio. You got a good Gio story for us from the last 4 years that kind of sums up what he's like and what he's about?
A good Gio story. One funny one is Gio. He's not the greatest cook, I would say. His specialty is cup of noodles. That's probably like the most advanced thing I think he could possibly make without burning down the kitchen. And I always remember, like, this happens all the time. I would make dinner or I'll cook something for me. And, like, in the middle of the night, I'll wake up to, like, just go to the bathroom or something. I see him in there, like, sneaking bites and pieces of it. So, and I always think it's funny because, like, I have no problem if he eats any of it. But it's always funny that I think he tries to, like, sneak around and eat some of my food all the time. So that's one good Gio Bigger story I can think of.
That's a good one. Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Go over to Richie Schneider.
Myles, can you talk a little bit about how crazy this year's been for you? You were #1 play on SportsCenter. You're now Stephen Bardo has you as Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten. Just talk about a little bit how crazy it's been this entire season.
Yeah, this season has been by far the craziest season I've ever played in anything, basketball, high school, college, anything. Just with this whole pandemic and the way the world is, and you know how we're facing it as like human beings alone, I think is just crazy to deal with. And also on top of that, playing in basketball, playing against other people in different states and stuff like that. So it's been very challenging, and I think hopefully no other people have to deal with a season that involves like battling COVID and staying safe and making sure you don't go out sometimes. And this has been a big sacrifice here, putting the team in front of yourself. And I think Nick even said it, like, going out with people is tough because, like, you really could go out with someone and then come back the next day and be positive and everything's shut down for 21 days. And now at this point of the season, that's it. You're done with the season. So just that danger alone of having COVID involved in basketball, I think is very tough. And it's definitely, like, been one of the toughest seasons I've ever played.
We can go to Sarge and then Chris Nowalski.
Myles, Steve Peichel talked about it before, but have you made the dean's list all 4 semesters or every semester you could have made it? And then I guess can you just tell me what your GPA is and how you've been able to kind of like balance everything that you do academically and basketball?
As of dean's list, we have 2 semesters a year. I think I've been on it 3 times. I don't really like just keep track of it or anything, but I think 3. I think GPA wise, my universal is 3.45, 3 or something like that. And I'm on pace to get the magna cum laude or magna summa cum, whatever the middle one, not the super highest one, the middle one. But yeah, I'm definitely honored to just have that academic accomplishment. But yeah, so other than that, wait, what was the other part of the question? Sorry.
The challenge balancing it, as a student athlete. A lot of student athletes talk about, just how difficult it is. But what's the advice? What's been like the best thing that you've been able to take from maybe what people have been trying to advise you to be a well-rounded student athlete?
Definitely time management. I've been preaching time management since I've been here. Everyone asked me I like being an engineer, and I remember when they did the day in the life, like you guys saw like how much stuff I have in one day. But I write it all down. I put it on the timesheet, and it has specific times, specific things, and I block things out. I block out when to eat. I block out if I have time, block out a nap in between. But definitely manage your time and do everything early. I'm anti-procrastination. Like if something's due next week, I will have it done as soon as possible. Today, hopefully, have it done. Because with anything, with this season, anything could pop up. We have practice move, or especially now I have the internship too, so I have to manage that. I have projects with that to do, and so definitely time management. I think that's like the biggest key of my success with being a student athlete.
Hey Myles, Coach Peichel has always talked about how much you've gotten better since your freshman season. How would you just assess the way you've grown as a person, as a player, over the years?
Yeah, definitely. Funnily enough, my high school coach sent me a clip of me one of my high school games, like I think last week, and just showing me like how far I've gone, and it's been a great stride, especially after being injured my whole junior year and like my senior year. I was kind of like a shell of myself, really not really the same, like trying to just fight back from being injured. So having seen that clip and like looking at how I play now, it's just such a great feeling that I've made such a great stride. And, you know, I have everyone here to thank VD, getting me into the right shape, you know, Rich and them, providing all the treatment to keep my body the way it is, and Coach Peichel and them, you know, coaching me and getting me better and just basically improving my whole player self and everything. So hats off to them, and I'm proud of where I am right now, and then hopefully this isn't just like the cap if I just keep going up and up and up.
Maybe one or two more for Myles before we get him to practice to go to Polity. And Steve, if you're not there, I can go to Richie.
Myles, there's been a ton of great big men throughout the Big Ten, throughout your 4 or 5 years, whatever it is now. Who's the toughest guy you ever had to go against in college?
In college, I have to give it to the 2-time Player of the Year, Garza. I mean, I don't think anyone has been a 2-time Player of the Year, at least in my memory, back to back. But he's doing it, and to be honest, I thought he was going to be gone after this year. I didn't really see the point of him staying, but I haven't played him again this year. He's still one of the best bigs that I played against so far. You know, he puts up points like unbelievable pace, and playing against him it's crazy. But I just think hats off to the Big Ten, like, because he's great, but you literally have 3 or 4 other top centers in this league. So this league is always full of great people, and playing against literally almost the centers of most teams are all one of the best centers, I think, in the whole NCAA. So playing against all of them is just a crazy feat in itself.
Back to Sarge.
Myles, what's the team's mindset? You know, as you go against Indiana, knowing that you probably need to win a couple more games in order to solidify yourself for the NCAA tournament. Is it bounce back from a loss? What's your team's mindset?
Oh yeah, definitely. We do have like the bounce back mindset, but I think we kind of just have to take a step back and really just think about it. Like, I feel like the last game we kind of went into it like overcomplicating things. Like we were like thinking like, oh my god, like this and that. They're playing small. They're playing all this and that. But this game, I feel like we just keep it simple. You know, we have key bullet points. You know, I have to guard Trace again. Keep the guards from making a lot of threes. You know, stuff like that. And Indiana, they are a hard-nosed team. They've been playing amazing basketball these past couple games, so they're definitely gonna come out with the same intensity and everything. Especially because I think their season is also on the line, just like everyone else's. So I think we just keep it simple is the I guess the message of the game. You know, just get in there, play defense, play hard, play with effort, play with intensity, make shots. I think that's a big one. But I feel like all the shots we missed weren't even really bad shots. We just got to make them. So that'll happen. So you always make shots.
For one last one, I'll take from Chris Nowalski.
Hey Myles, kind of going back to Rich's question earlier. I know you obviously played against a lot of good big men in the conference, but do you consider yourself, at the top of the list as well?
I feel like I've made strides to get up there. I wouldn't say I'm number one or anything, but I feel like I'm definitely in the mention now. And as he said, shout out to Steve Barber. I feel like I always rewatch the games with the commentary because I just want to hear what they said. And he's always been very positive on me, and I really appreciate everything he said. But and just being as he voted me as the defensive player of the year, that's my case. I may not put up 40 a game, but I'm gonna play defense and I'm gonna block shots and I'll rebound and stuff like that. And so I think that's where I make my mark as one of this top centers, and I'm the one that plays defense. So definitely, I'll definitely take that role. I'll definitely be that guy.
Yeah. I was also looking at your bio online real quick. It says you played water polo. I just want to ask you, about that.
Yeah, back in high school, my mom, notorious for signing me up for summer camps, a million of them, because she doesn't want her philosophy is you're not going to sit at home and do nothing in the summer. You're going to do something. So at Cerritos Community College, they had it was like a little list. You check off things you do. And water polo is one of them. She checked it off because she said, see if he likes it. And I played it there. And it was actually pretty fun, to be honest. I was a goalie because, I got super long arms. Just literally took up the whole goal. And I've always been, especially in Long Beach, everyone knows swimming is a big thing. And so being in the water in the summer when it was super hot, I wasn't complaining either. So it was a good time.
All right, thanks, Myles.
Thank you, Myles.
Thanks, Myles.
All right.